Hi, first grade. I wanted to share another read aloud with you. And I found this book, and it was one of my favorite books when I was a kid. And it is actually a little different than the things that we've been reading because it is a book of poems. And we actually haven't read a lot of poems in class this year, but this is by Shel Silverstein, and it's called Where the Sidewalk Ends. And I'm going to skip around and not read, it's 197 pages. So I'm just going to choose some of my favorite poems that I remembered from when I was a kid. So I hope you enjoy them too. But if you like these, there are several other poems in this book that I won't read today. And then there's also another book by Shel Silverstein called The Light in the Attic that is a bunch of poems as well. So let's get to the first poem. And this is called Jimi Jet and His TV Set. I'll tell you the story of Jimi Jet, and you know what I tell you is true. He loved to watch his TV set almost as much as you. He watched all day, he watched all night, till he grew pale and lean, from the early show to the late, late show, and all the shows between. He watched till his eyes were frozen wide, and his bottom grew into his chair, and his chin turned into a tuning dial, and antenna grew out of his hair, and his brain turned to TV tubes, and his face to a TV screen, and two knobs sang vert and hors where his ears had been. And he grew a plug that looked like a tail, so we plugged in little Jim. And now instead of him watching TV, we all sit around and watch him. So that was that one. And then I like this one, pancake. Who wants a pancake, sweet and piping hot? Good little Grace looks up and says, I'll take the one on top. Who else wants a pancake fresh off the griddle? Terrible Teresa smiles and says, I'll take the one in the middle. I was going to read you this one too. Smart. My dad gave me $1 bill because I'm his smartest son, and I swapped it for two shiny quarters because two is more than one. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he didn't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then along came old blind Bates, and just because he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, and 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to Hiram Coombs down at the seed feed store, and the fool gave me 5 pennies for them, and 5 is more than 4. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks, and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. So the dad really wasn't too proud of him to speak. The dad was kind of mad at him because he lost all the money. He traded it in, but he kept trading it in for less coins that were worth less money. So even though he had more coins, they weren't really, it was worth less money. All right, let's see, another one of my favorites. Invention. I've done it, I've done it. Guess what I've done? Invented a light that plugs into the sun. The sun is bright enough, the bulb is strong enough. But oh, there's only one thing wrong. The cord ain't long enough. Jumping rope. This started out as a jumping rope. You probably think that I'm a dope, but this started out as a jumping rope, and now I fear there is no hope. But this started out as a jumping rope. The crocodile's toothache. The crocodile went to the dentist and sat down in the chair. And the dentist said, Now tell me, sir, why does it hurt and where? And the crocodile said, I'll tell you the truth. I have a terrible ache in my tooth. And he opened his jaws so wide, that the dentist, he climbed right inside. And the dentist laughed, Oh, isn't this fun? As he pulled the teeth out one by one. And the crocodile cried, You're hurting me so. Please put down your pliers and let me go. But the dentist just laughed with a ho, ho, ho. And he said, I still have 12 to go. Oops, that's the wrong one, I confess. But what's one crocodile's tooth, more or less? And suddenly the jaws went snap, and the dentist was gone right off the map. And where he went, one could only guess, to north or south or east or west. He left no forwarding address. But what's one dentist more or less? Just trying to find the ones. Okay, Invisible Boy. And here we see the invisible boy in this lovely invisible house, feeding a piece of invisible cheese to a little invisible mouse. Oh, what a beautiful picture to see. Will you draw an invisible picture for me? Get to the right page. Okay, this one on this side, Lazy Jane. Lazy, 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 lazy Jane. She wants a drink of water, so she waits and waits and waits and waits and waits for it to rain. And I picked this one. I liked how the text was written in a different way. And we talked about how text can be different color, size, or shape. And I thought that was a good example of where the text was written in a different way. To the right. Sorry for the delays here. Okay, the planet of Mars. On the planet of Mars, they have clothes just like ours, and they have the same shoes and same laces, and they have the same charms and same graces, and they have the same heads and same faces, but not in the very same places. Look at the picture there. Okay, let's do a couple more. Spaghetti. Spaghetti, spaghetti all over the place, up to my elbows, up to my face, over the carpet and under the chairs, into the hammock and wound round the stairs, filling the bathtub and covering the desk, making the sofa a mad mushy mess. The party is ruined. I'm terribly worried. The guests have all left, unless they're all buried. I told them bring presents. I said throw confetti. I guess they heard wrong, 'cause they all threw spaghetti. And then this one was another example of the text. It says, please do not make fun of me and please don't laugh. It isn't easy to write a poem on the neck of a running giraffe. Okay. One more I was going to share. There's a whole bunch. So if, like I said, if you like these, you might enjoy the other books. Okay, Double Tail Dog. Would you like to buy a dog with a tail at either end? He is quite the strangest dog there is in town. Though he's not too good at knowing just exactly where he's going, he is very, very good at sitting down. He doesn't have a place to put a collar, and I'll admit it's rather hard to lead him, and he cannot hear you call, for he has no ears at all. But it doesn't cost a single cent to feed him. He cannot bite, he'll never bark or growl. Just scratch him on his tails, he'll find it pleasing. But you'll have to take him out for twice as many walks, and I bet that you can quickly guess the reason. We'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed some of the poems from Where the Sidewalk Ends, and I'll see you next time for our next story. Bye. Real quick, while I was reading this, Kara found
these are the original ones that she had
from when I was a kid. So Where the Sidewalk Ends.
You guys just did.
So I hope you enjoyed them. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Goodbye.